So Daniel, what's in it for you? What's the reason behind this venture?
It's finally, not finally, but it's come to fruition. Wanted to do a record label, wanted to be in the music business for a long time because I've loved music, but didn't really quite have the infrastructure set up or anything like that, which kind of enables you to do anything you want to do at any time, whereas now we're at that stage. So, you know, we've signed artists, we've got The Wave, we've got Anderson 100, Capstone Heights, Screamer. So we've got artists on deck, we're pushing forward and we're looking to do something special.
So what's in it for you? Is it just something you want to help young kids just make it, or is it more to it than that? Obviously you've got a passion for music, so what's the...
It's both. I mean, one of my partners who's involved in the label, he's, taught courses for kids, for people who have gone to lower than high school, from, underprivileged kids in the community where we grew up to high school kids. And he's a couple of years older than myself, but he's somebody that's working with me on the label. He's very passionate. His name's Sean. Tulloch is very passionate about music, as like myself. But also it's about, I enjoy it. It's not like about the money. Of course you want to be successful, the money comes with the success, but it's about having fun, enjoying the moment. I love music, so it's not something that I plan on, if we don't have any hit songs or we don't get loads of streams straight away, that it's like, oh, I'm out of this. Like, I'm in this for the long haul, so I know it's going to take time. I know I'm going to learn along the way also. And this isn't the first time I've dabbled in the business though. Like, I had a record label with my dad maybe when I first signed for Chelsea, so this is going back maybe 8 years now. And we lost money then, but we had to learn. I think you have to learn, make mistakes in order to get where you want to go in life. And I think we've made those mistakes. I've certainly made those mistakes with that venture. And now I know what we have to do to become successful. So,
what sort of music you're looking at? Is it stuff that you like, or are you prepared to be?
Nah, everything, everything. Because music's global. You look at the Latin market, for instance. And the streams they're doing on Spotify. It's probably, I think it's the second biggest market for Spotify, which is huge. Globally, every market's doing good. You've got the African market, which is doing a lot of numbers, which it's never done before globally. And then you've got a lot of artists as well who are merging genres, like the Drakes of this world and people like that who are taken from different cultures, dancehall in the Caribbean, pop, rock, electronic, house, anything. I'm interested in everything. It's not, what The Wave, who are signed to the label, they do, they're about the diaspora, they do global stuff, so they do Afro beats, they do pop, they do R&B, they do everything. And it's just about giving people the platform too. I like watching TV shows about people, and Jimmy Iovine was someone who inspired me a lot because he enabled the artists to do what they wanted to do. Like Dr. Dre, you had Marilyn Manson under his wing. You had a lot of people who were out of the box and different, and they were the most successful label at the time. So
you're a famous footballer. You must know people in the industry, famous artists.
But again, they're friends with me for football, so it's different. It's different when I'm like, yo, like, let me get a feature. Like, it's like, yo, she's gonna cost you, whatever. So it's different. I think it's just like if they was to say to me, yo, come and play in a football match. Like, it'd be like, bro, like, like I'm not bad to do. But obviously it's a business too, so I understand that. Yeah. Some people, if they love the song, they do it for free. Other people, they want to get paid a feature fee, and I think it's just like, at the end of the day, your friends are going to support you as well. And I feel like if I called on people for favours, they'd do it. But I don't want to do that unless I feel it's beneficial for them too. Okay. I don't want to like make them look bad, because it's their reputation on the line as well.
As a kid, who do you listen to? What were your influences growing up?
I'm going to keep it all the way real, all the way funky. So we had, growing up, there was so many different genres, because where I'm from in Birmingham, very multicultural, Caribbean influence, good vibes. So back in the day, we used to call it ragga, it's called dancehall now. So, there was the Beanie Mans, Bounty Killers, Shabbas, all of those guys, when ragga was at its peak, was what we used to listen to. And then my mum and dad, they listen to old school R&B as well. But they listen to Beres Hammond, Dennis Brown, Sanchez, all these guys, Sizzler. which is the Jamaican kind of, because that's where my background is from. Then we had the UK vibes, which was, we had garage back in the day, you know, which was, I mean, that was our thing. It was a big deal at the time, and still is anyway to this day. I still listen to that, which is kind of like house, I guess, but it's our own spin on house. Jungle too, which is like drum and bass. So we had like Skibber D and Bassman, guys like that. Then we had old school R&B too, so Donnell Jones, Joe, Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, one of my favourite artists of all time, Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott. Like, there's a lot of people. And then you've got hip hop too, Tupac, Biggie, you know. But when I grew up, I listened to loads of different things. Then you had the cheesy stuff like Spice Girls. Obviously, you know, everybody likes Spice Girls, went to watch the movie.
So come on, what's your guilty pleasure? Who's your guilty pleasure?
A guilty pleasure now? It's tough because I feel like there's so many different things. Like, I like music where I don't even know what they're saying. Yeah. I just like the melodies and the beats. Like the Latin market, for instance. I like Bad Bunny. I like Karol G. I like Becky G. There's a lot of people. Ozuna. There's a lot of people from the Latin market which I like. But then, you know, I don't really have any guilty pleasures. I listen to everything. I try to anyway.
What was the last gig you went to?
Last gig I went to, my boy Dave. I went to Santan Dave in London. I think that was the last one. So we flew an event. We threw an event, Dudley Road Records. We did a little something in Birmingham. You feel me? Just a little cheeky little thing popping off. But that was the last thing I attended. But the last actual gig, proper concert, was Dave, Santan Dave, good friend of mine, and he's gonna be huge. He'll be one of the biggest artists out of the UK for sure.
You've had your ups and downs as a player. Does music give you a release, help you switch off? You wake up on a normal footballing day. You train at 11 o'clock. You wake up at 8:30 maybe. You're in training. You have to be there for 9:45, 10 o'clock, whatever it may be. So you're in the training ground. You get home. You probably leave training maybe 2, 3 maybe. So I've got more hours in my day than I do at football, and you have to fill that up somehow. So it's a good distraction to have because I feel you do need your downtime, although you have to focus on the game. That's my main focus. Football's always going to be my main focus. But I feel it's also good to have a distraction which you can focus on too. I think everyone has their own little thing which they like to do. Some people play golf, some people, you know, I don't know, they do other sports. Some people study, whatever it may be. My form of studying and my form of getting my mind off things is music. I love it. It's always been something I've loved. So you're back at Liverpool. Did you expect to be back here after last season when you went on loan to West Brom?
Saying, oh, we want you to go on loan. It was my decision, and you know, the sporting director made it clear, like, you know, we don't want you to leave. But I felt as if I had to leave to get my head right, to get away from the club, to you know, have a new lease, because I'd been there a long time and I wasn't playing as regular as I would have liked to. But I've never had any issues with anybody at the club. I've never had any issues with the manager, with the staff. I love it here. I love the players, but sometimes you have to do something for you. You know, it's the same as, I don't know, you know, if you've been with a woman for a long time and then you're like, man, like, I don't feel like it's working out anymore. But then you realise when you go away, you know what, me and my girl's relationship was kind of sweet still. Yeah. I might have to go back there, you know. So it's kind of like that. Like, as I said, I've always loved the club. It's never changed, you know. So I don't see myself going, but you never know what happens in the future. But how I am now and how I'm enjoying myself, and you know, it's a great vibe right now. So I can't, no complaints at all from me, and looking forward to trying to help the team be successful this season.
You've got some serious competition this season. You've got Mo Salah, Bobby Firmino, Sadio Mane, Xherdan Shaqiri. How do you see yourself fitting into that bracket?
You know, it's football, isn't it? I think, like, when I was at Chelsea, we had Didier, we had Anelka, we had Kalou, we had Malouda, we had loads of players. When I first joined here, we had Louis, which people, you know, maybe was thinking, oh, yeah, they're going to play together, but I wasn't guaranteed to play when I signed for Liverpool. And I feel like in football, you always have to prove yourself as well. You know, the past in the past. Like, last season was last season. Now it's a new season. So you have to continually evolve, and you have to continually try and help the team in any way you can. whichever position it may be, whichever team the manager selects. You have to say, okay, cool, that's for today, but the next game it might change. And I think to be successful, you have to have a great squad too. It's not about any individuals, or although certain players will play more than others. In this day and age, you've seen squads are what makes teams successful.
Because you're only 28. I mean, it's not age, is it? You've got a lot.
Yeah,
of
I got a lot of time. You know what I mean? I got a lot of time on my hands. I look at someone like Didier, who I say he came to prominence when he was, I think, 26, 27. He joined Chelsea when he was 26, 27. So I think that, and his career, he started growing as he started getting older. His career started getting, he's like fine wine, baby. He just gets better and better with age. I think I've learned a lot too. Going away to West Brom, I learned too. You learn things about football. You learn about yourself. You get to assess the situation out from the outside looking in. When you're on the inside, there's no other perspective but what you see on the inside. When you're on the outside, you get to look at things a little differently. How you can help, how you can fit in, how you can do certain things differently. So it was a good experience for me.
How did you feel watching the World Cup? You scored a lot of goals for England. Did you feel you should have been there?
Look, man, you can never say what could have been, or I should have been there, or this, that, and that. I helped them get to the World Cup. I scored some goals on the journey, but I'm happy for everyone that went too. Because you can never take these things personal. And I got a lot of love for Gareth Southgate. I think he's a great guy. He's doing a hell of a job, and I think he'll bring success to the country. And I think the tournament which we did have, the World Cup, which I wasn't able to participate, but the boys did a great job over there, and they made the country proud. They made everyone proud. I was a fan, which obviously an unhappy fan not being there, but a fan that I'm happy for the boys. Like, yo lads, come on, like, kept in contact with everybody. Text Raheem, text H, text Hendo, text all the boys that Rosie and all my friends. I text them all and say, good luck guys, all the best. Text the manager. It's not about me. It's about, at the end of the day, I was unfortunate not to go. Injury didn't help, this, that, and the third. But it's a beautiful thing, this game. You know what I'm saying? You can never take the rough with the smooth. I've played in 2 tournaments and scored goals that made the country go wild, looking at pictures and videos, and then you have the downside of missing out. But then that gives you the drive to be like, okay, Euros, next World Cup, I'm trying to be there, 100%.
So what is a successful season for Daniel Sturridge this year?
Just let's see what the future holds. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to talk myself up. I'm not going to talk about what I plan to do, or what the team's going to do. I think a successful season for the club is us winning trophies. That's what it's about. I think I think everybody bases success on silverware at the end of the day. So that's what we aim to do. We've been close along a lot of times. I was not with the club last season. They got to a final. Previous to that, we've been to 2 finals. I think we want to take the next step, and I think that's important for the club, for us as a group of players who have been so close and almost achieved so much. We want to be able to feel that silverware in our hands and have that joy that we've been waiting for, because we've had a lot of down times too, where we've lost out on trophies. So we want to win something. That's how I feel about my success. If I win a trophy with Liverpool, I feel successful.